Hey creatives, thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Rita Bearcat, and today we are working with some abstract art. We're gonna get out our tools and just play with color and see what happens. So the first thing that I'm doing is getting some color on the page. I'm using watercolor at first, but then I'm gonna switch to acrylics. The reason why we want to do the watercolor first is because the watercolor cannot go on top of acrylics because the acrylics have a little bit of a gloss. So we're just playing and adding some color onto the page. I'm using some water to flick in the brush to flick some water on the page so that it will create those little circles and little cells. You can allow that to dry by itself, or you can dab it with a paper towel, but know that the paper towel will pick up a little bit of the paint as well. But we're just playing here. So now I'm using some heavy body acrylic with a little I don't even know what you call those little things to spread the paint. They're from Catalyst, and they have little grooves on the edges. And you can get those like in your paint stores and stuff. I'm using a palette knife to spread some white heavy body paint across, and that metallic green paint right there is another acrylic paint from Pebeo, and I'm just using, because it's a small tube, I'm using the top of it to just get the paint on there. I was going to leave the little circles, but they were kind of thick and I didn't want to wait for that to dry, so I decided to go ahead and spread it and just play with it. And one of the things with abstract is there's a lot of playing going on and moving the paint. Right now I'm moving it with a paintbrush and just trying to come up with different textures and patterns and seeing what you get. And I would say to you that if you're new to this, is just keep playing with it and see what happens, because you just might be surprised. And then when you do like something, repeat it. Do it again. Do it again on a canvas, do it again on another project. That's how we learn. So right now I'm using the back of my paintbrush to add some white dots with some acrylic paint. And knowing that if you're going to use, I do end up using a marker, an acrylic marker on top. But know that you'll have to wait for it to completely dry before you can do something like that. So right now I'm just adding more paint and playing with it and seeing how it looks. I'm using my palette knife to add actually some glitter. It's called Dragonfly Glaze on there, so it has a glitter in it, a glitter property in it. So some of the areas will be flat and some of the areas will have shimmer. I'm also adding right now some glass bead gel from Golden, just in some areas. So some areas will have a lot of texture, some areas will be flat, some areas will have flat color, some areas will have shiny color, some areas like that green right there that I just put down will have that metallic shimmer to it, and some areas will just have the shimmer from the glitter that I put. See right there, you can kind of see it as I'm doing some drips right now. You can really see the shimmering going on in some of that paint. Right now I'm using, I'm doing some drips with, I actually used ink tints to do those drips, and I just mixed it with water. So once it's completely dry, and please, please, please do not use your markers on it until it is completely dry, Then you can go back and add some detail if you want, some doodles with your pens. I would use something that's permanent. Right now I'm using Pebeo acrylic markers because they write on top of anything, which is awesome. And it is a little harder to get a smooth line on those areas that are so thick with texture. So the lines may look shaky, but I think that that's okay. It's just part of the piece. So I decided to add vines to this because I felt like that curvy line kind of felt like something would be growing like a vine. And I did it in black first, thinking, okay, you know, the black should pop on there, but it really didn't. So then I changed my mind and decided to go back in with a white, which the white really does pop on there with all those colors. So this is also another acrylic marker. I think abstract art is a lot about experimentation and using your products and seeing what you can come up with. And you have to just keep playing with it until you like it and you feel like it's finished. Now, because this is on paper, there's a few things that I could do with this. I could mount this onto a canvas or in a frame, as it is, right, in the size that it is. I could cut it down and make little cards with it and then, you know, mount it with a white background, and I could make it easily at least 3 cards with this piece. Or I could cut it to a bookmark size. There's just so many things that you can do with paper when you do something like this. So I'm adding little dots, you know, just little lines. I did go back, and what you're seeing right now is once you feel like it's finished, I would tell you to take a picture of it, hold it up, turn it around on its different sides and take a look at it, because the way that you originally had in mind may not be what you end up with. So you may like it on its side or upside down. And I felt like it needed a little bit more vines going straight up, having that little curvature coming off the main vine versus the whole vine going to a curve. So I hope that you found this helpful. I hope that this inspires you to do something yourself, and that you will like this video, give it a thumbs up or whatever, and subscribe to my channel there. And I will show you some different, right now I'm trying to show you like the shimmer. As I was bending it like that, I was like, okay, maybe they could see the shimmer in the video. So here are some close-ups. So you can see all of the detail and all the yummy goodness. Now you can take any one of these little sections that I'm doing. I cropped them down to different sections just so that you could see the different close-ups. You could take any one of those sections and then turn that into a larger canvas or a larger project, because this is about experimentation. Like this one, I did like a long, shorter border, and I really like this one a lot. I think this was my favorite. And you will see the end. I have the skinny and then the actual size of the piece that I did, so that you can really see the difference. But you could cut up any one of these sections into something and make it something awesome. So here is that picture, and I will see you next time in the next video. Thanks for watching.
yeah.